I'm going to text you a link to your mobile, and if you'd be ever so kind, just to leave us a nice 5-star review. One on Trustpilot, one on Google. I'd be really, really grateful if that's not too much to ask. The perfect Yorkshire tea.
Are you having some tea there, sugar?
This is for my colleague Little Gary. He's got a sweet tooth. Me, I like it black. Black is best. I'm like a Jamaican Darren Fletcher. I can put my hand to a little bit of everything.
He's a man of the people. He will sell to old, young, fat, thin, tall, short, everybody. Everybody loves it.
They call me Darren Fletcher. Reviews, belling,
He's the most
selling,
underrated salesman there is. And he never blows his own trumpet, ever.
telecom. My name is Kyle. I work with existing customers primarily who've had recent work done. I check to make sure that the work's gone according to plan and that they're happy with the finished article or the final product. And primarily try to obtain a review if they've been happy with the work, and also see if there's any additional requirements in terms of any further work with ourselves. Yeah, so I speak to all customers on completion. As soon as they've had the work done, make sure they are happy with it, give them a call within anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes, strike while the iron's hot, and just really make sure they are happy with what they paid for. They paid the hard-earned money, and just to ensure that they're satisfied all around. As evidenced by our fabulous reviews, we find that 9 out of 10 people, let me rephrase that, 98 out of 100 are happy. So there's very few issues, and if there are any issues or complaints, we address them very quickly and pass it on to the service team, where there's a dedicated service manager, and then that'll be resolved as quickly and as efficiently as possible. I've done this for near enough 5 years with this company, so I've done it for a long time, almost since the company started. So existing customers has always been my hub and my baby, as I say, in my industry. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy the job. My background has always been a mixture of customer service and sales, so it suits me down to a T. I like to think I'm quite an approachable, friendly person, so that comes out in the job that I do, and I really enjoy my job quite thoroughly. No, so it's definitely a kind of team kind of setting. So as I mentioned earlier, I work quite closely with the service manager, who you'll probably be interviewing soon, called Gary, and he controls the service engineer, Mark. So if I pick up a small issue, then I'm the first person to speak to a customer when they've had a job done. Then I'll pass that directly on to Gary. Mark's the senior manager, he kind of oversees everything as well. So if it's something a bit more in depth, or if it's something that Gary can't deal with, then I'll liaise with Mark. So we're all installation and post install, so quite tight knitted. So Mark is one of the most senior managers in the company outside the directors. You've got George, who's installation managers. You've got Mudge and Tarek, who are co-owners, and we all get on. I like to beat Mudge at football every now and again. He thinks he's still got it, but he's struggling at 44. And no, jokes aside, we get on really well outside of work, and we do see each other sometimes outside of work, and it's a very tight-knit team. I'll see if there's any needs directly after installation, but sometimes when you've just had some work done, you spent a lot of money, you might not want something straight away, but then I'll also give them a bit of a follow-up call in 6 to 12 months, just to see now they've had our work done, it's settled in, make sure that's settled in well, and then to see if there's anything else they're looking to do in the future. So in windows and doors, you're always kind of working in advance, so I will make that call and see what the next project is. Nothing persistent, not kind of calling them 10 times, just a polite follow-up call, just to make sure that they are happy with the work we've done. And then, like I said, just to see if there is any additional needs or any future projects that we can obviously help with. We're 4.8 with 1,700 excellent reviews. I think that's pretty much within the top 5 to 10 for an independent company. And the ratio of 4.8 is a lot bigger than many of our, national competitors, which I won't name right now, but yeah. As far as an independent company goes, I don't think there's many companies with over 1,000 positive reviews at 4.8. So it just goes you to show The vast majority of our customers have an excellent experience with us, and they're more than happy to share that as well, and they recommend us, and hence why we're here doing this interview now in this lovely office. So my day-to-day is obviously contacting existing customers and customers that have just had work done. There's normally around about possibly 10 installations a day, so it's getting through to them after they've had the work done, and then obviously I'll call people that I've missed or that might have missed me, and then there's historic existing customers, and then with a little small bits and bats, yeah. And this is here, Mr. Positivity, as you can see. Positive energy all about him.
I'm ready to go. Every day that I come to work, I want to be the best version of myself. But if someone's got a season ticket...
Oh, man. Gary, okay, I'll let you with
just let me say it. Right, so one of us has got a season ticket at our club. Yeah, I'm a Leeds fan, he's an Arsenal fan. So would you say that the person that goes to watch the team in the stadium with a season ticket is a proper fan, or would you say the Arsenal fan is a proper fan of it?
My name's Gary, I'm in charge of the service calls. So basically what happens is when we do an installation, you might get a few issues after the installation where you might have a door that's dropped, or a door that's struggling to lock, or windows are leaking, etc, etc. I'm the person that books them people in. When they ring up to tell us the information, I send one of my engineers out to fix that problem. It's very minimal. The phone calls that we do get are very minimal. Don't get me wrong, we do 40 installations a week. I might have maybe 1 or 2 fresh installs a week that, you know, something's not right where a piece of trim needs doing, or where they've broken a piece of glass on installation. Basically, these things happen in the window and door industry. You might get a piece of broken glass when they're trying to take the old, when they're trying to bang the new window in, or there might be a piece of glass that they've left here. And then obviously I just go the day after to install it, basically. So my job, basically the main part of my job is to work with installations. They will tell me when there's an issue. So they might get an issue on the day of an install where they can't fix it on that day. They'll then pass me the file of that customer, and then I will then ring them up after the fitters have left, or even when the fitters are there, to make sure that we can go on a date that suits them. Once that file's then on my desk, obviously, and it's completed, the customer then signs a satisfaction note before we leave to make sure they're happy. Well, my background is sales, believe it or not. I still do sales, but this is this is my main job. But then I go out selling when there's a lot of appointments. But no, my background is in sales. But this job I started here in May 2021, so over 3 years now, which has flown by, to be honest. Yeah, I live in Accrington, which is it's a village in between Blackburn and Burnley. The reason I work here is I've known Mudge a long time. I've known Taz a long time. He got me into the industry of sales because my background is door-to-door canvassing. But then I did quite well at that. Went on the desk, sales desk, and then obviously I was managing a lot of people. So that's my baby, sales, really. But obviously, again, I like doing the service calls because it's in my best interest to keep customers happy. Obviously, happy customer, happy reviews, etc, etc. It means we get more business off customers that can trust us. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that are here today and gone tomorrow. You know, we're here for the foreseeable future, you know. That's the reason that we do a 10-year guarantee, insurance back guarantee for people that, you know, if you didn't get a guarantee, once the installation, something happens, where are you going to go to? It's like third-party insurance. Do you get fully comp, or do you get third-party insurance? We install everything, manufacture everything, and guarantee everything ourselves. The fitters are employed by us, the salesmen are employed by us, the factory's employed by us. That's the best way to go about it, in my opinion. Obviously, I've been in contact with Mudge and Taz a long time, but I wasn't actually with the 1stglassuk. UK. I was with another company, so I didn't see that, but I did see the videos because obviously we was always in contact, and he showed me what it's come from to what it is now. I mean, you know, you look at it now and it's like, you'd think that we was a national company, but for someone so local, for what we've got, I mean, Mudge especially is a visionary, so this room was just full of dust. Literally, in the space of, well, we've been here since 2018, I think we've been in business for. Yeah, you just can't imagine what we was to what we are now. You know, every day is a learning curve. But we're battling. It's not an easy field, but we are battling, and we're doing our best to keep everyone happy, and we're trying to stay competitive with the prices. We do a lot of research on who's charging what, and we used to buy our frames in, but now we manufacture ourselves. We can look after the people that want to buy off us because we can keep our costs down because of the manufacturing that we do ourselves. A lot of people, what they'll do is buy the frames from a manufacturer and then they'll add their bit on top for the profitability. But we can just give the price on the day. See, what a lot of people do, Gav, is they go to measure up. They'll come to someone like us to manufacture, and then we pass them frames to someone else, and they'll add their £2,000 or £3,000 on top for installation. There's no middleman with us. The price is the price. You know, the price includes taking your old windows out, manufacturing brand new frames, all the guarantees, all the certificates, fence certificate, all the locks, all the barrels, everything is included under one roof. So that's why it's better to just go with someone, whether they buy windows off us or someone else, just make sure that they manufacture their own frames. But yeah, it's not common at all for someone local to manufacture their own frames. It really isn't. Like I said, you know, if you want to use someone local, like I said, just make sure they manufacture their own frames. I can't stress it enough, because if they say you buy your windows off someone, but someone else fits them, it's a problem with them windows when they get fitted. You ring that company and they're going to say it's a problem with the installation, not our issue. The fitter's going to say, what a load of rubbish, it's the manufacturers. So where do you go? You're in limbo land. You buy cheap, you buy twice, to be honest. That's the saying in double glazing. Well, in any industry, you buy cheap, you buy twice. You really do.
George has got an old chisel and a hammer. He's got a big slab of concrete on his desk.
Flintstones.
I must ring Mudge. Flintstones.
Flintstones. I'm back Flintstones, mate.
And now you're like using a computer. Wow.
You know. Not a great deal, mate. We're just sussing it all out, mate. Sussing it all out. Everything's alright. Everything.
Yeah. Because
It was a hectic 2 hours.
My name's George Graham and I'm installation manager of First Glass UK. Basically, I get all the frames, glass and all the trims ready for the fitters to come in the morning. What I do is I help tip off the van, load it up to make sure they've got all the glass, all the right frames, all the sills. And evening time, we sometimes ring the customers to say what time the lads are going to get there in the morning. And sometimes helps with ours, just basically helping factories sort the frames out, put them in the right rack. Morning up till about 9:30 when fitters have come and gone. And then after that it's just basically just making sure the frames, everything's what I need for the following day is there, basically. If, say for example, the fitters have broke a glass unit, I try and put it on a sheet of paper and give it to Gaz to say, look, that needs booking in to get it put in the to do the job. 6 years since 6 years October. Since it's opened? Since it's opened. First installation man.
Did you do you remember the first install from the first?
Oh, absolutely. It was in Manchester. I believe it was. In fact, it was sort of like 8 windows and 2 doors in Queensbury. Yeah, I do remember it. And it had a circle window, a round window. I do remember it. Absolutely, I do remember it. To be fair, Mark did all that, but nah, I'm good with customers. Even when I was outfitting, I was good with customers. What we do, you go in, you say, you give the name, because you always give your name, and you always say, he takes 2 sugars, I don't take any. And nah, yeah, I'm good. Oh my word, it was just, well, that's another level downstairs. In fact, I'll be here all day trying to talk about what happened downstairs. It was manic. A small space, but we did what we had to do. We got through. And this is why we're upstairs now. We've done it slowly but surely, and this is where we are.
You get enough good customers.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong, but it's like everything. If you haven't done something at your house, you just want it right, and that's where we try and get it right first time. Sometimes it don't always work like that, but we try and make sure it is done right first time. What I've been dealing with is basically there was a job what came up wanted a canopy building. So what I've done downstairs, I've built the canopy, so it makes it easy for the installers tomorrow to do the timber work. So I've probably saved them maybe 2 or 3 hours tomorrow morning, you know what I mean? So they don't have to mess about, everything's there, just plonk it on and put the roof on.
Teamwork.
Teamwork it is, yeah. I've saved them a lot of time, I know that.
Well,
but they do thank me for it, you know what I mean? They do thank me for it. So I don't even want no thanks, I just know what I need to do to make their job easier. Because I've been a fitter myself, I know what it's like. I know they appreciate it. But I don't want thanking, I just know I've got a job to do and I'm helping them the best of my ability to help them. And that's just to make their job, make their life easier, because out there it is hard.
No idea, yeah. Make sure your last sees this TikTok video. Oh, get it. I'll get him. 1stglassuk. I'm going to put phone down because all you're doing is talking. You're not letting me get a word in edgeways. I've got a wife at home who can do that. What I'm saying is that we've had a meeting together. The senior management, as far as we're concerned, as far as George is concerned, who's been on site, I've seen the meeting, it's within our tolerance for what we do for meeting. My name is Mark, and I do everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that end of it? On the badge, operations manager.
And what does that entail?
Well, basically, when this company first started, gosh, when was it? October 2018. After the demise of another company, which we shall not mention. On the day that we got made redundant from that company, Mudge, who'd already left, had set up this company and gave me a call on the night we got made redundant. I said, Mark, I need you to give me some advice. So I said, well, what do you need? He says, can you come down and, because I've started a new company, which I already knew about, I just need you to give me some advice on something. So I said, yeah, okay, not a problem. So I came I went to his house that morning, but he was at the office in Bradford. He says, Mark, no, not there, come to Bradford. So I went there, found parking, went down into this lovely little office in the centre of Bradford, and he said, right, this is my problem. We've sold 6 contracts. I mean, fair play, he'd organised all the contracts and everything. He says, I've got a surveyor. What do I do next? And that was it. So because I'd worked at another company, I basically said to him, this is what you do, blah, 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 blah. He did look a bit lost in his own admittance, and he says, right, okay, when can you start? And I says, I'll be in my pen tomorrow. And that was it, been here ever since. And basically it helped, because there were others involved, develop the systems to get to where we are now. And don't get me wrong, there's people probably far more qualified than me that know these systems and know, things like Google this and Google that. But at the end of the day, it was just starting it off. And then now I work with George closely in installations and layers between installations, factory, and basically try and organise things. Even at my age, and they keep telling me I'm losing my marbles, but there you go. We're in a little office in the centre of Bradford. There was a little sales office, little admin office, and then a little telecom office. And when I say little, they were probably about as big as this. So me, Rooney, and a guy called Scott, who's not with us anymore. Not that he's died, he's just not with us anymore. We're in that room. Then I got Ryan from another company, because he'd worked with me previous. So I asked him to come on board, so Ryan came on at that time. Aaron and Mudge and a few of the others that you've interviewed were in the sales side of it, and Taz was sort of like in the telecom side of it, but he was then sort of like learning his ropes on paying bills and what have you, which he still isn't good at doing, but that's a different story. Joke. So yeah, and then there was a downstairs area which we were thinking of developing at the time, but never bothered, because this factory was here. There was a room probably slightly bigger than this, where there was about 6 of us in, and there was a sales office which was branched off from there, slightly smaller than this, which there were 3 people in. So we worked in the centre of the factory. Now you've done the tour, haven't you? You can't see that room anymore, because that room's now been demolished, and we moved up here about 3 years ago, I think it was now, 2 or 3 years ago. And this all here was just a junk. It was just a nightmare. But fair play to Mudge and his vision. He saw what he wanted to do, and don't get me wrong, we still keep adding little bits on, but now we've got plenty of space, and therefore we can throw things a lot further at each other whenever we want.
And that's the main thing.
Oh, as long as the age, I'll tell you what, we'd be good at darts. Absolutely brilliant. But other than that, yeah, it's now a better working environment, and it's gone up. To see where it was, to see where it is now, you wouldn't believe it. You just would not believe how far we've come. The only one, the only two that weren't here from the start are Gary and Adam, or Greenie, as everybody calls him. Although Greenie did come at the start, but because of other commitments and where he was coming from, he came a little bit later on, and same with Gary. He came a little bit later on, with them living over that side. But everybody else, Suki came, then went, then came back. But everybody else has been here since virtually day one. Don't get me wrong, we're all married to each other, and that's why there's so many arguments.
Love and hate each other.
Oh, look, if you're all here all nicey, then you know there'll be something wrong. You know what I mean? But it's not aggressive. It's you know, we say our point. As soon as we said this point, that's it. Forget about it. Crack on. And the same thing, we always pat each other on the back if we've done something right, because again, we work together and we have to do. We've learned from working to said other companies that we don't want to go in their direction. And Mudge said that right from the beginning. It's more about the customer experience. And don't get me wrong, when we first started, we were very wet behind the ears. And even though I'd done the job for 20 odd years, I'd never done this side. And same with Mudge. And we've learnt together as a group. And well, Trustpilot tells you itself. We're now quite high on Trustpilot now, purely and simply because we do look after the customer. And we don't want to go to that stage where, we've got the money, bugger off type thing. Don't get me wrong, money is important. We've got to get the money, but
keeping the customers happy.
That's the main thing, yeah. And if there's an issue, we resolve it. That's why Gaz is here. We didn't have Gaz before. We didn't have a service engineer. And don't get me wrong, they're not massively things that he does, because installations look after it if they need be. But you've got to have that in this industry, because things do go wrong. Glass does develop, you know, muck in between it that nobody's seen before, you know, silly little things. But yeah, what me and George have been doing is been planning ahead. So it's like we've been looking at jobs that we can bring forward to keep fitters busy, so therefore release pressure on busier days. And that's what we've been doing mainly. I also look after the invoicing from the suppliers that we get the trims from. The finance is my job. That's what I deal with, the finance. So if there's any issues with finance, the reps ring me, or if I need to get extra information from the customers, then I deal with the finance side of things. That's my main job. But I work closely with George, because George is, as you've seen yourself, we're both busy, but he's downstairs preparing for tomorrow, so that when the fitters come in, they can grab what they want and go. That didn't happen 3 or 4 years ago. You know what I mean? There'll be a case of, why isn't there a letterbox in this panel? You know what I mean? Whereas George now is saying, why isn't there a letterbox in this panel? And gets it sorted. And that's what he does. So the job's too big for one man. And because I've got the other commitments that I deal with, it's big enough for 2 men. But I generally sort of like deal with the customer side of here, whereas George deals with the fitting side of here. So trust me, the amount of marks I've got in my car from having to go to put seals in my car to drive to the other side of Manchester, and I'm not lying to you there, because the courier's already in Outer Mongolia delivering a seal to somebody else. You can go look at my car, there's marks everywhere. However, I don't do it now. Courier's not working at the moment. So it's because we get it done before. Before we used to be really reactive. Now we're proactive, and we do get things that go wrong. If I said that if the fitters went out, fitted all the windows, and got paid and came home and put the feet up and watched Coronation Street, I'd be lying. I would be honestly lying. But we're set up now to deal with those things a lot quicker than what we were before, and we can spot it before it happens. If there's, like, say for argument's sake, customers ordered a gold letterbox, but for some reason the factory's put a silver one on. I'm not saying that they do that often, but as an example, George will spot that, get it changed. So it's not a case of that we go to Wigan with a door with the wrong coloured letterbox on, because then we're having to get somebody else to go out to change it. What's the point? And so that's why I'm with George more, to give him the chance to be able to make sure everything's right, which releases a lot of pressure elsewhere. And then I deal with Ryan, Rooney, Suki and Ibby, yeah, God, I forgot his name. You know, they'll come to me for advice, or we'll work together and we'll have a solution on something. you know, by putting us all heads together. But there's only really Mudge who's the boss. Everybody else sort of like works together. Whatever position they're in, or whatever they tell you they are, we just work together, because that's how it should be. And we'll have a bitch in the moan when we want.